With these three superfoods alone, you'll probably have the most complete stockpile in your group, and you'll never need to depend on anyone else in times of crisis. One of the most important things that you'll master is the lost skill of wild plants. Our forefathers and Native Americans didn't get sick often, but when they did, guess what? Their pharmacy was found in the great outdoors. They used thousands of plants for every ailment you can imagine, and with great success. Yet most people nowadays know fewer than 20 species, let alone use them. And so one of the most important things I'm going to teach you in the Lost Ways 2nd edition is how to use ordinary plants that are probably growing in your backyard right now and turn them into powerful remedies. First, you'll learn how to easily and safely identify using large color pictures the plants that you need. You'll discover plants that help you fight diabetes, heart problems, infections, and almost anything else you can think of. And I'll also show you what an old Cherokee Indian taught me about 3 plants his people used as natural painkillers that were so effective that their pain would miraculously subside in a matter of minutes. And because antibiotics are the first thing to disappear from the shelves in a crisis, I'll teach you how to take advantage of nature's most powerful antibiotics. They'll help you fight most bacterial infections without the nasty side effects of modern drugs. And when the pharmacies are ransacked and your own supply of life-saving antibiotics is exhausted, these plants could prove to be your lifeline. And how about the tree you probably walk by to work every day, never knowing it's a natural disinfectant that stops bleeding in a few seconds, just like an external tourniquet, but without strangling any veins? And I'll also reveal to you the lost method of building log houses that was used by the pioneers that settled in the West. Using this simple method, you can build your own log cabin where you can take shelter in a crisis or spend your vacations and enjoy the happiness that comes with a simple life. One of our readers, Kaylee, started building her cabin a few weeks ago using the method that you'll find in the Lost Ways 2nd edition. And she's almost finished building her own log cabin with only $500 spent so far. It's still a work in progress, but most of it is done. How will you feel in a crisis to be the only one who can keep the wind and rain off your family if you're ever forced to leave your home for good? You'll also discover how the pioneers from the Wild West hunted deer and how they tanned hides without chemicals and without spending a dime. You'll also find out how to butcher a deer and what parts are best for certain preservation methods. You'll learn how to wisely use every part of the deer just like our forefathers did, to make tallow, a cool knife handle, a bowstring, glue, or even a needle. And you won't have to wait for a collapse to come for this one. You'll use this lost skill whenever you or your friends go out hunting. I'll also unearth an ingenious method by some wise settlers to dig their wells in no time without much work and without spending a dollar. If you've ever been thirsty, you know the real value of a glass of fresh, cold water. We take it for granted now each day when we open the tap. But imagine one day in the near future that stops. How great will it feel when there's no running water to be able to use this lost method and build your own well with fresh water in your backyard? And this next skill was so common a century ago that every town and little village had a charcoal kiln. And if you have a friend named Collier, he probably had an ancestor who worked in one. Rediscover how to get the highest purity charcoal the old-fashioned way and how to turn it into activated charcoal. I'll show you how you can use the activated charcoal to build yourself a simple and reliable water filter that can clean 800 gallons of water. And when all the water is contaminated and all you can find are muddy creeks and pools with diseases running rampant, you'll keep your loved ones safe drinking crystal clear, healthy water. You'll discover how I made my own activated charcoal pills that I use whenever I have indigestion to lower my bad cholesterol levels and even to prevent gas. Now, fortunately, I've never had to use them in extreme situations, but activated charcoal pills are very useful in treating acute food and chemical poisoning too. Now, trust me when I say that your medicine cabinet is not complete without these powerful homemade pills. I don't know if you know this, but most gas masks have activated charcoal filters. Now, I know this might sound hard to make, but they're really extremely simple. I built my own gas mask in only 1 hour, and I tested it the same day. With only 1 pound of activated charcoal, you can build around 6 gas masks that you can add to your stockpile.